Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Life Talks with GETI or Global Education and Training Institute. Well, I'm your host, Preena, here again with another guest for this afternoon, Miss Priyadarshini, who is working with the Kotak Education Foundation as a senior coordinator, a change facilitator. Well, after giving her 13 years in the education industry into teaching and training, she is passionately working towards bringing the change in the education system, to bring change in the society, talking about how she can enhance and improve the same. Well, she's working with school leaders and supporting them to bring change in schools, as I said. And today she is going to talk on something very important, that is time. Well, should time management be taught to students in school? Is it really important to begin from there? A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, on this platform of Getty, and I would request you to please enlighten us with the topic.
Thank you so much. So, good afternoon. This is Priyadarshini Khade from Kotak Education Foundation. And today I'm here to talk about an important topic that should time management be included in school curriculum? Should it be taught? We all basically are too much. I'm just thoughtful. Are we possessed about time or is time possessing us? So, let's know more about it. How can we become more connected and more organized in our time? So let me quickly share with you the presentation that I've created for each one of us. Yes. So should time management be taught to the students in school? Let's do a quick overview of what we are going to understand in this next 30 minutes. Is let us understand, do time managers or is it that we manage time? Let us understand the three goals and how can we create it so that we live a more fulfilling life. The question that I would like to ask myself, how can I manage time effectively? Knowing the benefits of time management, let me understand what stops me to manage time. And why are we here today at this platform asking for should time management be taught in school? So let us understand what research has to say. Why inclusion of time management of school at school is important. Let's understand little more and think a little deeper by giving food for thought. So, what is time management? We have been hearing it right from the time we have gained our consciousness. We are trying to understand what is time. Time management is nothing but it's a process of organizing and planning. We just understand it as a peripheral activity. But to be very honest, it's not just an activity, it's a skill. It's a core skill on which various skills of our life and various aspects are dependent upon. So, always we have this question: am I managing time or is time managing me? There is so much for me to do, but how am I going to do it? So, today, here I bring with you the three important goals in my life or an individual's life. When an individual clearly understands the three goals of his life, it becomes easier for an individual to plan better. So, what are the three goals to keep my life or the child's life in balance? Now, here I have placed it why, what, and how. Why? Why goals talks about personal goals, family goals, health goals. These are the goals which are my reason to wake up in the morning. Now, what are what goals? How can I keep my priority, my why goals sustaining, happy, fulfilled, enriched? So, what goals are my business and career goals? What is it that I need to accomplish in my life? How can I be stable financially? How can I be emotionally, economically strong so that I can support my why goals. Now, coming back to how goals. How goals are the goals for me to reach and attain these two goals of why and what. How goals are my personal development skill goals. It talks about my personal and professional growth, what I need to achieve in life. And if I need to achieve in life a particular goal, how am I supposed to reach there? So, when I identify the three goals or when I segregate my life into these three different goals, for me, planning becomes much more easier. Why this has to be inculcated in the school curriculum? Right from the beginning, if the child understands the importance of three goals, what are the goals that he is really living up for? It would be easy for the child to create the difference for himself and to be more productive. Moving further, how can I manage time effectively? I have understood the three goals of my life, my priorities. How can I fulfill those priorities? What are the things that I need to do to fulfill them? So now, bringing to you the concept of Stephen Covey, urgent and important matrix, the ultimate 2080 law, which is also known as Pareto's law. And let us understand and the difference between being busy and productive. So, what does Covey's matrix talk about? Stephen Covey has very beautifully organized our various life aspects into this four quadrants of Covey's matrix, which talks about urgent and important matters. So here in this four columns, in the four brackets, first bracket talks about urgent and important. Second bracket talks about non-urgent but important. Third quadrant talks about urgent and not important. And fourth quadrant talks about not urgent and not important. So when we can see those taglines there, manage, focus, avoid, and limit. Urgent and important is the quadrant where we understand that it's the ultimate emergency. I cannot skip this moment and the task has to be completed and delivered. While looking at it as urgent and important, I'm trying to understand why it has come to this moment of checking my feeling and feeling restless, incomplete, frustrated, stressed, because I did not really focus on what's not urgent but important. Let me give you a quick example. Now, since we all are into education system or we are educators, we are dealing with children, we have our examinations due and we are aware of the deadline, but I'm not prepared with the question papers, I'm not prepared with the plan sheet, I'm not prepared with the blueprint, or I'm not prepared with the required resources, and I'm left with no option than to be stressed and sit and exert myself and to complete the task, leaving aside the rest of it. But when I knew my deadline, for example, it's in the next week and I have to submit it in the next week, and I know it's not really urgent at this moment, but for me, it's an important task which has to be completed. And if I start devoting some of my time towards that particular activity, I think in I can be more productive and I can create more value to the task that I have. So, moving further is urgent and not important. There are certain calls. For example, I'm receiving a call while I'm working at that task. If that call could be avoided, it is important for me that I can avoid that call. It's better for me so that I do not engage into certain conversations that can lead into waste of my time. So, not important but urgent, so I can just give quick couple of minutes to it and I can get back to my task. Not urgent and not important, we have a list here like social media, watching television, Netflix, gossiping, shopping. How is it going to add value to my task? How is it going to add value to my activities that I'm doing? Definitely, some time has to be devoted into this particular quadrant. But engaging into this quadrant all the time would be making us less efficient and unproductive. So, how do I understand all these four quadrants? For that, I need to have much task clarity. I need to identify my priorities. Like I had, for me, my family is priority. That's why I have put why goal at the top. It depends at different stages of life what becomes the priorities. So I need to identify the priorities, and priorities change with individuals. How can I do this and how can I assess it? Constant self check of the feelings that will support me to plan better. Urgent and important creates a restlessness, creates stress, creates anxiety within me. Whereas not urgent and important task makes me peaceful. So these feelings are the testers to myself. Let me test and check myself. How am I feeling at this moment? Am I moving in the right direction? If there is some sort of discomfort, that means I need to rework and revisit on my planning for the day. It's important for me to know what are my time wasters. Where do I find, maybe it differs from person to person. Some person might find value in the time that the person is spending on social media because that might be the source of earning for them. But for me, getting onto a social media shall be a difficult task. So I need to understand what are my time wasters where I'm not finding value for it. How can I place my all of these tasks into 4Ds, which I have mentioned here? 4Ds talk about 4D, which says about dump, do it, delay, and delegate. So it's a personal planner. Everyone has this liberty either to either plan before waking up, I mean, like getting up in the morning, or previous night, the next day's plan could be kept ready in your personal diary, personal planner. So, easy way is to write down the task for the entire day, and we can make it and categorize into four columns like do it, dump, delay, and delegate. So certain things which is urgent and important, it falls into the bracket of do it. That has to be completed today. It cannot be postponed. For example, medical emergencies, meaningful appointments, which has to be done at this moment. So I will put it into that bracket and put down the time. What is the time slot that I need to freeze for this? Moving to delay. For example, I need to buy some groceries and I have to visit the DMart. But due to some urgent and important work, I'm not able to do it, or I'm not able to go to a grocery store. So, what shall I do? For me, buying the groceries can go to delay, maybe for the next day or in the next half of my schedule. Something which I do not need to be present physically. Those tasks could be delegated. I need not do everything all alone. I can always call for help. Last is dump. So I need to understand my priorities. And if I feel this is not required at this moment, I need to take it off my list. While I do this, there has to be a constant review and reflection throughout the process of planning. Because today's experience would be a learning for me for tomorrow. So, Covey's matrix helps me to understand the four major aspects of life, four major activities which I prioritize according to my situation, according to my need. Moving further, let's understand Pareto's law. When we open our wardrobe or when we just enter into a house is full of the things that we require. But how much do we use it? Out of 80%, only 20% is used. So, as per this law, talks about 20% is the result, or 80%, it depends, it varies. Now, as we see, 80% of our decisions come from 20% of meeting time. Many of our decisions are influenced by 20% of people. Putting effort for 20% and getting result of 80% definitely is again an 80-20 fits into the Pareto's rule. So now it's the time for me to change my 80% of effort and bringing in 20% of output. It has to be reversed to 20% of input and 80% of output that shall really support my students in the school curriculum, or if this is taught to my students, how can they plan effectively by investing that 20% of time doing first thing first and getting maximum results of it out of it. That would give them a lot of benefits, lot of productivity. Now let's understand what is being busy and what's productive. We often listen or hear people say, I am busy, I am busy. And then towards the end, when we ask, what is it that you have been busy with? The answer is either silence or a list of tasks. So, what is being busy? Busy is being occupied with too many tasks. When I am busy, I'm just trying to bring in perfection into my every work. I'm just trying to be good at everything that I have to be. I'm trying to satisfy every aspect of the task that is being given to me. But what are the outcomes of that busy schedule? How am I feeling towards the end? How is the quality of the task? So when I compare it to being productive, I be more focused. I have a purpose. When I being busy, when a task is combined with purpose, I think it gives a better result. I need not be good at everything. Rather, I prefer to be great at something which will create a better impact. Let me take this example of this presentation that I've made for each one of us. If I'm trying to be good, if I'm just trying to create it and to be presentable, is that only output that I'm expecting from? Or is it that I'm being focused and paying attention to what is it that this presentation or this particular 30 minutes time slot deliver to people? How is it important? How has it impacted? That's productivity. Taking the performance from high on a graph is being productive. And how can I be productive? By identifying my priorities, by understanding Covey's matrix, and by creating a personal planner, which I can call it as journaling as well. Reviewing and reflecting my task post it's done. Now, moving further, we have understood what are the three goals. Why why only few people or few percentage of people are successful in life? Why others struggle? So we have all these tools in place, Covey's metrics, Pareto's law. How can I contribute with 20% of my efforts to get 80%? Where is it that I need to work on? So we all are aware and we all have been understanding what are the benefits of time management. So when I'm able to manage my work life and my professional life as an individual, I would be more successful as a human being because I'll be more confident. I'll have my targets met because it's on the planner. I'll have a sense of achievement and accomplishment. I can have more me time for the why goal, for how goal, for developing my skills and developing myself personally and professionally. I would be the most looked upon person because of my increased productivity and efficiency. Most importantly, I now have given up stress because if time is well managed, stress can be taken off from life. We all are aware, very strongly aware, that we have the lot of health issues do occur because of stress. And if stress is managed well, only then we will have a fulfilling life. And how can we manage stress? It's through time management. When I manage my time quite efficiently, I will be able to live a happy and fulfilling life. Let me give a quick example. Adding to 80-20 rule, we all are school leaders, we all are into education, we all are teachers, we are impact creators. So let me quickly share an example of a teacher who puts in 20% of his efforts in creating a lesson plan for the child for a 30-minute class. And when the teacher walks in the classroom and delivers the best lesson, the impact created on the child is the time 30-minute slot is effectively managed. It's every second, every minute is taken into consideration. Now, the child is learning, the value for time is there. Next, what I can identify there is children enjoy children enjoy the session because the time is well utilized. So when I take in 20%, I put in 20% of efforts and 80% is the output. Definitely that's going to create a lot of impact for the child, for the teacher, and the sense of pride. Now, what stops us? Now, what's procrastination? Procrastination is a simple act. It's an act of delaying or postponing something. Now, what? Every now and then, let's give me an example. I need to do an exercise, but let me tell myself, oh, today I'm not interested, or today I'm feeling tired. Let me start it from tomorrow. The tomorrow never comes. This is procrastination. There are 5 stages of procrastination. So when we look at this map, there is something that we are doing it every day at some point of time. So first is we are creating a false security for ourselves, which is we are creating a comfort zone. And when I create that comfort zone for myself, it's for me that the laziness creeps into me. I don't feel like getting up and doing particular task, even if I know the importance of the task. Then understanding it that into the second quadrant, that okay, it's not urgent but important, but I do not complete it, and then it falls into the category of urgent and important where I'm left with no option. I start giving excuses like, I have been working since a day long. Let me take some time for myself. Let me relax for some time. And that some time again takes me to the false security, laziness. Then I deny because I say I have much more time with me. I need to wait. I can wait. That thing can wait. Right now, there are other things that are priority for me. And crisis, I always keep crying, saying I do not have right resources with me. How is it that I'm going to work on it? So these are the 5 stages of procrastination, which at some point of time, some of the stages do creeps in us. And there, whatever we have planned for the day isn't accomplished. Now, why are we discussing all these things? Why is the topic for today, should time management be brought in school curriculum? Because let me back it up with a theory from Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Every individual goes through 4 stages of life: sensory motor stage, pre operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. So, sensory motor stage is the stage where it's from the birth to 2 years of time. इस टाइम में अगर आप बच्चे को कोई चीज़ बताते हो, वो याद नहीं रख पाता है. आप उसके सामने कोई खिलौना ला दो और उसके सामने से इसे फेंक दो, वो समझेगा उसे फेंक दिया. बट इनफैक्ट आपने बस उससे एक्ट किया है फेंकने का, और उसने आपने उसे छुपा कर रखा है. वो बच्चा ये नहीं जानेगा कि वो चीज़ अभी तक वो माँ के हाथ में है या किसी हम में से किसी के हाथ में है, इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू दिस एक्ट. But pre-operational stage is a stage where the child begins to observe, tries to analyze, समझने की कोशिश करता है. यहाँ पर बच्चे को समझ में आता है कौन मेरा है, कौन अपना है, कौन कौन सी चीज़ें किस तरीके से सामने लाने की कोशिश कर रहा है. So it is very evident for the child at this pre operational stage because he starts using all of his five senses to experience. Next comes the concrete operational stage, which is 7 to 11 years. Here, if you take 1 liter of bottle filled with water and you pour it into a container, the child will still be able to say that the quantity of the water remains the same. So, concrete operational stage is more logical stage. The child tries to connect to the logic that he or she is observing or experience. Formal operation stage is the stage age 12 and above, where everything becomes rational. Everything comes with experience. Everything, the learning is continuous, where the child is able to relate as per Bloom's taxonomy. The child is able to gather the knowledge, remember, understand. He's trying to evaluate, he's trying to analyze, he's trying to create. So, this is the stage age 12 and above. Whereas these all stages of life actually helps us to have various experiences at different age and become more and more rational as we grow up as an adult. So, why is this research put in here? Is to just explain that how important the stages of life are and why it is that these ages are important. We all are aware that students are much impacted or children are impacted more by the schools. When all these concepts or when these topics like Covey's matrix, Pareto's law is being explained to them right from the age of 7 onwards, depending upon their age group, I think they will get better at it time and again with repetitions, with errors and trials. Now, let's move to Vygotsky's cognitive development theory. He believes that it's proximal development. A child learns from the environment. Conditioning of the child is something that determines his actions and behaviors. Both the researchers are absolutely right in their own places. If we combine both of them, if we combine the right age pattern and if we combine the environment, the concept of the environment, concept of conditioning the child, that will give us better results. Let me take a simple example of a child staying in a city and a child in the rural area. Maybe for a child in the city is finding it difficult to swim or to trek a mountain within some specified time period. But for that child, being at a lower age or being younger to what a child is in city, he is able to do all those things quite effortlessly because of the conditioning in that situation, in that surrounding. So, if we combine both of these aspects together and think of including time management in school, I think it can give us better and better results and better productive individuals towards creating a better future, not only for them but also for their family, community, society, and definitely to our country as well. So we all are aware that in an elementary school, it's just a time of the child. It's important that we help our child to transit because there is not only the physical changes that's happening within the child, there are too many changes that's happening within mentally, emotionally. So, with the increasing age, with the increasing responsibility, if I'm able to guide the child in the right direction of how to manage his life, how to manage time, rather than time managing him, everybody has 24 hours of time, but only few are successful because they know to implement the time, make use of the time effectively. And this is what is important for us to bring in that particular concept in school so that my child, right from the age of 7, tries to structure or rewire or reprogram himself with planning. हम सब जानते हैं, पहले सवाल अगर हम कोई इंटरव्यू में जाते हैं या कहीं पर जाते हैं, हमें पूछा जाता है, तुमने पढ़ाई कहाँ से की, तुम्हारी स्कूलिंग कहाँ से हुई, कौन से स्कूल से हो तुम, कौन से कॉलेज से हो तुम. Because we as an educator, we create that processes and system where there is a lot of cognitive development happening within the child during those school days. So जब मैं ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट्स मेरे स्कूल में लेके आने की कोशिश करूंगी, आई एम श्योर दैट विल क्रिएट माई चाइल्ड अ बेटर प्लानर, अ बेटर प्रोडक्टिव इंडिविजुअल, अ efficient person who knows to balance his work and professional life. He knows to eliminate those things which are not right for him. He knows to take care of every aspect because he knows to prioritize. He knows to journal. He knows to dump. Knows to delay. He knows to delegate. And he knows which is the task that he has to do by using the Pareto's law. Now, at this moment of time, when I feel stuck within myself, these are the things that we can give to our students while we are giving them the education of time management. Let's stop and ask, what is really important for me at this moment as an educator? What is it that I can do as an educator? How is it that I could bring this time management into my education system of my schooling towards my students? And how is it going to create impact into their lives? What is really important for me at this moment? What are the activities that I could do which can add value to my life, to this moment, to this situation? And post receiving the answers, when I sit with myself and try to understand, let me ask one more question. What stops me after I understand 5 stages of procrastination? Where is it that I can apply all the laws that we have just understood? The Pareto's law, Covey's matrix, the importance of journaling, and understanding what is the difference between being busy and productive. So, let me ask at every point that what am I doing today? Is it really helping me and supporting me to reach to where I need to go, where I am destined to be? Let me create my destination. Let me create my destiny by planning. So, final words for the day. Productivity is never an accident, it is always the result of a commitment to excellence. Intelligent planning and focused efforts can definitely lead me to where I'm supposed to be. Last but not the least, we all are aware, we always keep saying, time flies. It flies so quickly. ऐसा लगता है ये तो चीज़ें अब भी शुरू हुई थी, अभी खत्म हो गई. पर इस खत्म होने के चक्कर में ये जो वक्त हमने गवाया है, उस वक्त में क्या कुछ हमने खोया है और क्या कुछ हमने पाया है. बट let's again come to the point. We cannot work on the past, but future is still in my hands. What is it that I can do at this moment? How can I create value to my life? How can I create value to the life of others as an educator? And can I bring this concept of time management, which will definitely support my students who are struggling with every aspect of their life, to set them right and give them a direction and make them the pilot of their life? Make them the pilot of the time and let not the time ride them, but let them ride the time. So, here I end with my presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. The quote in the end was, ask yourself if whatever you're doing today, is it really taking you to the place where you want to be? The place where you want to be. It's all about the planning. We know since beginning we were taught about time. Time is money, time is precious, time and tide wait for none. One of our favorite quotes we used to write on the blackboards. But at that time, how many of us really understood about time, how important it is in our life. Most people, they do not realize how precious time is until in late years of their lives, when it's almost gone. It's just gone. We can get everything back. Money lost can be recovered, opportunity lost can be recovered, but once the time is gone, it's gone forever. And it is important, the way you explain beautifully how it's important for our students to understand its importance, and learning how to manage it effectively in today's time. And yes, the hurdles also discussed by you, the procrastination, where people are really in their comfort zones. They're not really willing to take a step ahead. And sometimes it's also about prioritizing. There's so much in your bucket, in your checklist, that you are confused what to do. So I think we can somehow plan things accordingly, where we are going to make our lives easier. And I think for the students, it's very important. And I have seen youngsters today, they have this habit of saying, no, YOLO. That full form says you only live once. That says it basically, you can do anything you want to, and somehow they waste a lot of their time, the best of their time, following this thing, YOLO, you only live once. That's nice. That's important to do everything in life. But then again, they are simply wasting by not prioritizing what should come first. And I think, yes, we should learn when to say no. What do you say? Because something is already there. I mean, a lot is there in our bucket, in our checklist, but still
Absolutely
we are forced somewhere to do this and this also and this also. I think we should learn. The students should
true.
learn to say no, when to say no. That's very much important. And from school, I think schools play a very important role. Well, ma'am is just disconnected because of some network problem, and she just discussed about time management. Should it be included in our curriculum for the students? Yes, because schools are set to prepare children for real life. And yes, she is here back with us. Yeah, we were talking about the schools, that how students are actually prepared in school for their real life, and they can make the future adults more happier, healthier, by teaching them that how one should manage their time. They have taught us a lot. Since I'm talking about
I
our
just
times. Yeah.
when I think of getting back to my school days, I'm just thinking कि if these all things were taught to me during my school days, today I'm sure I would have been at a different level of my life.
Right.
Identifying the priorities came towards late stages of life. But what if these priorities are being given or taught? What are the three major goals of life? Because इसके अलावा दुनिया में कोई दूसरा गोल है ही नहीं किसी इंसान के पास. Like first is like family, next is career
Yes.
and business, and next goes to how can I upgrade myself to live there, live up to those moments. So if this is taught at the right age, that's the reason I shared the Piaget and
Yeah. Just
Vygotsky's
yes.
theory of cognitive development.
Yes.
So
Teaching them at the right
it's
age is very
important.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
And
so
I
it's
feel
the time now,
sometimes.
it's a wake up call.
Yes, absolutely. It's a wake up
It's a
call.
wake up
And I
call for
think, yes, sometimes it happens that the child is capable enough of doing everything, but then again, the parents are not capable enough of as I said about the priority. So I think schools can actually help them, understand the value of time. The students will improve their time management, and eventually they will get more of me time. They'll be more confident. They'll have that balanced work life. And yes, absolutely, the stress-free life that we have been talking about for quite a long time. Stress-free life, and especially in these 2 years, we have seen a lot. I think,
True.
yes, it's important to include in our curriculum to teach them from the very beginning of their lives. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful having you here. And
Thank you.
thanks a lot for highlighting these important points about time management. That's very
Thank you.
important. I think that was very positive and inspiring session. Thanks a lot for joining today, and thanks to the viewers and viewers out there. If you have any questions and if you wish to add on something to this, you can post in the comment section, and you're free to do that. Share with all your friends and people where you can actually help them with these things, positive things. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us, and it was
Thank you
wonderful
so
having
much.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, viewers. Take care,
Same.
everyone. Bye bye.